My dad thought I stole his watch. He loved that piece of metal more than anything. He asked me if I stole it. I told him I didn't. He said he knew that I had and that I was lying. He didn't speak to me again after that. Not on Christmas, not on my birthday. He went almost a full year. Just utter silence. Like I didn't even exist.
In this fast-paced era where pressure is felt everywhere, it's easy to fall into the trap of irritation and anger. I'll give you some tips that can change your life instantly. One of the key principles that leads to inner peace is the sincere acceptance of everything that comes our way. This does not mean a passive acceptance of circumstances or agreeing with them. Rather, it is about the ability to face them with willingness and without resistance.
Found out later that he put it in his desk at work and got buried behind some papers or something like that. But he never apologized. He just looked me in the eye and he said, "How was your day at school?"
Hey, sorry about all that.
No, it's all right. You learn a valuable lesson, you know. It doesn't matter what you do. It only matters what they think you've done.
Don't wish for things to happen as you want them to, but rather wish for them to happen as they do happen, and then your life will go well. This ability to accept the flow of life as it is relieves stress and restores a sense of control over one's own state. If you are forced to carry out a task with strict deadlines, it seems heavy and exhausting. But if you do the same thing for the call of your heart, even a difficult task will give you satisfaction. The difference lies in your attitude. Voluntary actions bring joy, while obligatory ones become a burden. Apply this principle to your daily life, and you'll be surprised by the results.
I think you're just a little kid with a really special gift, who only ever wanted people to understand her. So we're not all that different at all.
But what about the people who hurt you? Don't you ever want to make them suffer?
Well, yeah, but what good would that do? You think just because there's bad people out there that there's no good ones either?
When someone says something offensive, you have two choices in how you respond to the different emotions. Respond with anger, or choose not to let the situation disturb your inner peace. Accepting reality means being aware that some things are beyond your control.
You fucking animals! You motherfucker! Hey! Don't do it! Out of my way! Don't you see what they did? Just look around! They're not even human anymore! You have no right to stop me killing these greedy assholes!
We didn't take these guns so we could use them like this. If you shoot them, then we're no better than the monsters who trapped us here.
Instead of fighting the inevitable, focus on what you can actually change. For example, if you are criticized at work, use it as an opportunity to learn and grow, not as a reason to be offended. Your reaction determines your peace. Remember, your reaction determines your peace, not the event itself. Acceptance is a process that takes time. See difficulties as lessons and approach daily annoyances with patience. When you master this way of thinking, you'll notice that irritation and anger recede, giving way to a stable inner strength that allows you to live in harmony with yourself.
Don't do it again, Astrid.
Do what again?
Attach yourself to anyone who shows you the least bit of attention because you're lonely. Loneliness is the human condition. No one is ever going to fill that space. The best you can do is know yourself, know what you want.
Each of us sees the world through the prism of our expectations and beliefs. Once you immerse yourself in a complex situation, labeling and judging others will bring you an unnecessary emotional burden. A judgment is not just a thought. It often becomes a source of irritation. Releasing judgments is the key to freeing yourself from anger and frustration. We often judge people without thinking, and people are not entirely good or bad. Their actions are usually determined by circumstances. Remember your own mistakes. Perhaps you were tired, stressed, or simply in a difficult situation. These judgments not only create a negative environment around you, but they also weigh heavily on your soul. Letting go of judgment not only makes your life easier, but also fosters the development of empathy.
Si no hay dolor, no hay cambio.
Sí, pero ya está. Yo necesito volver a ser la que era antes.
Parala, cortala. Para reconstruirse hay que demoler a fondo, y seguro que era eso lo que vos necesitabas. ¿Ah?
Pero ya está.
La podés cortar. Vos sabés que sos la misma piba de siempre acá en tu cabeza. Tenés todo. Vos tenés el control, no yo. Yo no hice nada.
Ask yourself, do you want to cling to anger, or would you rather find freedom and inner peace? The choice is yours. Much of our frustration and anger comes from expecting the world or people to conform to our desires.
Te sugestionaste como se sugestionan y entran como caballos todos los desesperados. Es eso.
Pero...
El control lo tenés vos. ¿Querés dejar de herir a la gente? Arranca ya está, listo. Empezá hoy. Nada, nadie te puede parar.
However, reality often surprises us. People act based on their circumstances, which we may not understand. This leads us to an important question. Do we need to try to control everything around us to find peace? Or does peace come when we accept what is out of our control? While you can't control everything in your life, you can always choose how you react to it. Accepting the lack of control is a way to shift your perspective on life. Unfulfilled expectations only weigh us down. When we stop demanding the world conform to our standards, frustration is replaced by clarity.
We're gonna need to talk about some of these expenses.
You need a vacation. Get some sun, meet a nice girl.
Where am I gonna meet a nice girl?
Who knows where you'll meet her?
Just get me another gig.
Joseph, never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life.
Does it make sense to waste energy on something you can't change? This simple question helps shift your focus from what you can't control to what you can. Let these ideas become a part of your everyday life. Don't expect the world to be perfect. Build perfection within yourself. Let forgiveness, patience, and conscience be your pillars. And let joy and peace be your constant companion.
You know what trust gets you? A sock, a rock, and a swim in the river.
You had to trust somebody, right?
Not me, Whenever I've let my guard down, I've been double-crossed, declawed, played, and betrayed. Never again. I am a solo act. I keep my secrets, and I play my cards close. That's how you get a winning hand. Take it from me. Never trust anyone.
Every day is a new opportunity to choose strength over weakness, light over darkness. Start small, but stay consistent in your efforts. Your inner peace and tranquility will be the foundation upon which you can build a harmonious life.
Miles, it's for your own good.
Who decides that? I'm not a kid, Gwen.
That's exactly what you are. You're just a kid who has no idea what he's doing.
I'm about to do this. Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
I know what it's like to not feel ready for something. Even ogres get scared. You know, once in a while.
I know you want me to be king, but I can't. I'm not cut out for it, and I never will be, all right?
I don't care how many times you failed before. I don't care if you're tired, broken, or lost. All that matters is what you decide to do from this moment forward. Because every second is a choice to stay the same or take a step towards becoming the man you're destined to be. That man is waiting on the other side of the effort you're afraid to make. It's on the other side of discipline you haven't mastered yet, but you know that man is you. You have the ability to become someone who knows no bounds, who doesn't accept defeat, and who doesn't need validation from anyone because you've built your greatness from the ground up.
You know, it may be hard to believe, what with my obvious charm and good looks, but people used to think I was a monster. And for a long time, I believed them. But after a while, you learn to ignore the names that people call you, and you just trust who you are.
Listen, no one remembers the half-hearted. No one tells stories about those who settled. History only remembers those who stood up when nobody else would. To those who had the courage to be different. To those who had the ferocity to go further when everyone else had given up. And that's what I want from you. Become the exception. Prove that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you get back up stronger. No matter how high the obstacle, you overcome it. No matter how much pressure you face, you endure it, and you keep going.
Like I'm floating outside of my body, looking down at myself. And I hate when I see how I'm acting, the way I sound. And I don't know how to change it. And I'm so scared that that feeling is never gonna go away.
Today is the day you stop talking and start doing. Today is the day you prove that you're not just willing to change, but you're willing to pay the price for that change. So get up, move your feet, do something, because you're not waiting for the perfect moment. You're creating the perfect moment.
And I lied. Mike, I'll never know how you feel. But you're not the only failure here. I act scary, Mike. But most of the time, I'm terrified.
There will be days when everything feels like a burden, when you want to give up, when everything seems harder than you expected. That's when you have to grit your teeth and keep going. Stop getting lost in the urgent, in what won't change anything. The urgent isn't the important. You have 24 hours in a day, just like everyone else. Don't complain about not having time. The difference isn't the time, it's what you do with it. If you get lost in distractions, if you can't say no to what doesn't matter, you'll fall behind.
So, what happens next?
We come back tomorrow night and do it all again. What's wrong, Teach?
It's just, I've been waiting on this day for my entire life. I thought I'd feel different.
If you don't confront what makes you uncomfortable, if you always put important things off, you'll never progress. Prioritizing isn't easy. It will hurt. You'll have to say no to things that give you instant gratification, and that will suck. But if you can master this, if you can start each day with focus and stop multitasking, you'll be unstoppable. This is your battlefield, and the only enemy you have is yourself. Listen carefully. It doesn't matter how many times you lose. It doesn't matter what others say.
I heard this story about a fish. He swims up to this older fish and says, "I'm trying to find this thing they call the ocean." "The ocean," says the older fish. "That's what you're in right now." "This," says the young fish, "this is water. What I want is the ocean."
People will tell you it's not worth it, that you're wasting your time, that you're fighting for something that doesn't make sense. But listen to this. Those same people gave up a long time ago. They let life defeat them. They let setbacks knock them down. Worse yet, they let the fear of trying define them. They chose the easy path and now justify their mediocrity by projecting it onto you, but you're not like them.
You're not bad, Sam. You're the opposite of bad. Like some kind of pure goodness I didn't think was possible for a human. Your first instinct is to share. Like the tasty meat bread. Or to help, even if helping might stop you from getting what you want the most. And what's crazier is what you want the most isn't even for you.
Let me tell you something. When you dare to go beyond what others consider achievable, you become a different person. When you choose to face pain instead of running from it, something inside you changes forever. I've learned that the darkest moments aren't a punishment, they're a privilege. They're the tests that separate those who merely exist from those who truly live. I've walked through fire, and I wouldn't change a single moment of it. Because fire burns away weakness, destroys masks, and forces you to confront the truth of who you really are.
Would you say that you love your dogs more than you love human beings?
Absolutely. The more I got to know humans, the more I love dogs.
What qualities do they possess that humans don't have?
Dogs have beauty without vanity, force without insolence, bravery without ferocity, and all the virtues humans have without any of the vices. As far as I can tell, they only have one flaw.
Which is?
They trust humans.
Let me tell you something. The easy path never created legends. Comfort never forged warriors. An easy street will never make you indestructible. The only thing that matters is that you don't give up. The only way to truly lose is to abandon the battlefield. As long as you keep fighting, you're still winning. Don't give up.
You're attractive. You're sexy.
What?
Oh, what? Is that supposed to be sexist or something?
No, it's not sexist. It's just ridiculous.
Listen. If I could just give you one gift, all right? One gift for the rest of your life. Do you know what I'd give you? Confidence.
Ain't like I'm still 5 years old, you know? Ain't like I'm gonna be sitting up every night asking my mom, when's daddy coming home, you know? Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? Got through my first date without him, right? I learned how to drive, I learned how to shave, I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
The time for excuses is over. No more, I'll do it tomorrow, or maybe next year. Those days are gone along with all the times you promised yourself change and didn't follow through. Today is the day to start fresh. A new year has begun, and subconsciously we think we have a new chance. Seize it. Today is not just any day. Today is the day you decide once and for all that your life is going to change.
I was little when it happened. The last thing my parents told me was, don't hide. Live. Follow the sun. You'll make it to tomorrow.
Even if the road is full of obstacles, life won't stop for you. Every day you don't take action is a day you'll never get back. And believe me, in a few years, you'll regret it if you don't act now. Even if you don't feel like it, even if your body is begging you to stop and rest, you have to get up and keep going, because deep down, you know this sacrifice, this effort will be worth it.
How long has Mr. Pickles been in this box?
Let me think. 20 years?
I feel your pain, Pickles.
Hey, Lucy. Lucy, don't let your life just happen to you. Take control of your future.
Today is the day you decide to change, to be disciplined, not just for a few days or a week, but for the rest of your life. This isn't a game. It's not a temporary struggle. It's a constant battle, and the battlefield is within you.
Here's what I do when I'm feeling down. I get very quiet and very still, and I say to myself, everyone in the world is as miserable and empty as I am. They're just better at pretending. Try it sometime.
Every day is a new battle, a daily war against distractions, social media, family drama, the constant temptation to procrastinate, and that little voice inside you whispering that you've done enough, that you deserve a break. But here's the harsh truth. Those distractions, those negative thoughts won't stop you if you have the right focus. Focus is your shield. It's what will protect you from all those obstacles trying to divert your attention.
I'll tell you, it's not fair, man. Not fair is when a bunch of scary aliens take your mama, your only parent, away from you in the middle of the night. Not fair is when you follow them and you sneak onto their ship and you search, but you can't find her. And then you see her. They got your mama strapped into some kind of machine.
The secret is consistency, daily discipline, doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like it. Listen up, nobody owes you anything. The world doesn't owe you anything. Your friends don't owe you anything. Your family doesn't owe you anything. Don't expect someone to come and save you, because that's not going to happen. If you're not disciplined, you'll be left behind while others move forward. Life goes on, with or without you. The worst part isn't failing or falling, it's looking back and realizing you achieved nothing because you sabotaged yourself. You lacked the courage to be disciplined, to face your excuses, and you let laziness, comfort, and fear defeat you.
And then I realized I was all alone. I'd never see my mama again. And I'd never be able to tell her I loved her.
What are you going to do today? Are you going to sit there complaining about how hard everything is, or are you going to get up, step on the gas, and move forward? Winners don't improvise. They don't go with the flow. They plan and execute. If you have a goal but no clear plan with deadlines, you have nothing more than an empty dream. It's time you understand that the world doesn't owe you anything. No one on this planet has the power to make your life better. Everything, absolutely everything, depends on you.
Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pity the living. And above all those who live without love.
It all comes down to your ability to stick to those damn deadlines. A plan alone isn't enough. You have to live it, put it into action. Every single day. Don't just make a plan to feel good. A plan you don't execute is worthless. Discipline is what gets you from A to B, not your motivation, not your mood. You know what happens when you lack discipline? You sink. You betray yourself. You fall behind.
Haven't I always done everything for you? I stayed with your mother for years for your sake. So why are you saying this? Why? Why? Tell me why. Is it because I fell in love with another woman? Is that my crime? How is that any of your business? I have the right to reinvent my life. Fuck, it's my life, you hear me? It is my life.
By doing this, you're training your discipline, that invisible muscle that's the strongest of all. It's discipline, not motivation, that will lead you to success. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is enduring. So keep going. Do what you have to do, because success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who work for it.
So, what do you think you'll do? How are you going to spend your life?
I'm not sure. But I do know. I'm gonna live every minute of it.
Listen carefully. Time won't wait for you. Time is your most insidious enemy because it never stops. It has no mercy. You can't recover lost time. Every second you're not working towards your goals is a second you'll never get back. Don't wait until tomorrow to start, because you don't know how much time you have. The time is now. Get up and start working towards your goals.
You know what, Uncle Phil? I'm gonna get through college without him. I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm having me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
Manny,
You've come a long way since we met, and I'll take full credit for that, but you need to let go of the past so you could have a future.
Are you one of those people who constantly dwell on what could have been, but wasn't? Or perhaps you find yourself wondering if things would be different, if you had done something differently. Do you worry about upcoming bills or fret about what the future holds? Let me tell you, you're trapped in the constant worry of your past and your future. Don't worry, most people are, but you're about to change that. I want you to know that your power to decide and act resides in the present.
The thing you kids haven't come around to is that there's no real fulfillment is a lie that they use to sell paper towels.
Hey, now who's cynical?
And I'm just experienced enough to know life is disappointing and it's short. And if you're smart, you can steal what happiness you can when you can, or just, stay on autopilot the rest of your life.
We should focus on the present and free ourselves from the chains of constant worry about the past or the future. Understand that the present is our true place of power. Never, ever forget this. Your future belongs to you. Your current expectations and decisions shape how you will live in the future. Instead of letting the fear of the future paralyze you, embrace its potential as a land of opportunities to explore and conquer.
I've been a terrible father.
It's not true.
Yes, it is. It is. I haven't been around. I told myself I was doing you a favor, which is bullshit. It was bad for you. And it was terrible for me. I made some mistakes, pal. I know that. But I also know that I can do better. And I know that's easier said than done. I know it's a lot of work, and I hope it's not too late.
Embrace gratitude as a gateway to the present moment. It's a powerful tool to anchor our attention in the now. Happiness doesn't reside in possessions, but in contentment. It's more about the mind than the bank account. By practicing gratitude, we acknowledge and appreciate what we have right now, instead of constantly yearning for what we don't.
Every day, every decision is an opportunity. And I want to start taking some of those. So I'm not asking you to believe me, I'm just asking for you to give me a chance. I know I may never be the greatest father in the world, but I know I can do better. And I'm telling you right now that I promise I will never stop trying.
This practice helps us develop a present-centered mindset where our actions and decisions are rooted in appreciating the current reality. We must free ourselves from the chains of the past and the future and embrace the power of the present with all its possibilities. By doing so, we allow ourselves to live fully and with personal motivation, knowing that every moment is an opportunity to grow, learn, and choose how we want to live. Let's remember these words. Don't expect events to happen the way you want. Decide to want them to happen as they do, and you'll be happy.
Are two words as non-threatening as words can be, but put them together side by side and they have the power to haunt you for the rest of your life. What if? What if? What if?
Focusing on the present not only empowers us, but also deeply connects us to ourselves and the world around us. Instead of regretting past mistakes, learn from them and apply those lessons to the present. Stop seeing yourself as a prisoner of your past and choose to use it as a valuable guide to build a more meaningful present. Leave behind the uncertainty of the future. Shape your expectations and present decisions to create a powerful future. The human mind often gets caught between the past and the future, leaving little room for the present moment.
But if what you felt then was true love, then it's never too late. If it was true then, why wouldn't it be true now? You need only the courage to follow your heart.
You must firmly believe in the importance of the present as the only tangible reality. Remember this, it's not that we have little time, but that we waste a lot. Life slips away from us while we wait to live. This powerful statement reminds us that every moment is a unique opportunity to live, learn, and grow instead of dwelling on the past or worrying excessively about the future.
A lot of people do not want us to succeed. A lot of people do not want us here. Private, your hat is too high. Unlike some other folks here, we have the most to prove. Now is where you show the proof.
The present becomes the space where we exercise our power of choice and action. Learn that the past is a teacher, not a prison. We shouldn't completely ignore the past, but learn from it and then leave it behind.
Everything you've heard about me is true. I've lost my family, my job. I'm an alcoholic. My daughter was diagnosed with acute leukemia at the age of 5, and I spent my days at work instead of being at home, looking after her, because I was afraid of watching her die.
Remember this and pay close attention. It's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. Applied to the past, this means our current interpretations of past events can affect our perception of the present.
I'm not a good father. I'm not a good man. I'm not hijacking this plane. I'm trying to save it. And I will save it. If you work with me.
Instead of letting past worries limit us, we can learn from past experiences and use them as a foundation to build a more conscious and meaningful present. Look at the future as a field of possibilities, not fears. While planning for the future is wise, obsessing over it can generate unnecessary anxiety and stress.
Why don't you let people see the good in you?
Because when people see good, they expect good. And I don't want to have to live up to anyone's expectations.